Hi, it's Kristen with Women's Care Center. Many of us right now are thinking about our finances. Financial pressure can be a major stressor. For that reason, today I want us to talk about a budget. A budget is just a simple tool that puts you in control of your money. But before we do that, let's do our breathing exercise. With your eyes closed, take a deep breath. Today, as you exhale, I want you to open up your hands as if you're symbolically releasing any worry that you're carrying with you today. Once you feel relaxed, think about the loved ones who are surrounding you. During this time when it seems that so much has been stripped away, I'm finding that everything I really need are living underneath this roof with me. So budgets. Some of us may be afraid of that word, but the good news is that you do not need to be a math guru or be really good at spreadsheets or number crunching to have a budget. A budget can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be. For example, this is my budget. It's a 10-cent notebook that I got at a garage sale a couple years ago. The first step to any budget is figuring out your monthly income. Now that may look a little different now than it did a few months ago. Some of us may even be unsure what our monthly income is. In a world of direct deposits, pay stubs are a thing of the past. Once you have all of your monthly income listed, add that number together, and that's what you have available every month to spend. The next thing to do is list all of our expenses. In my opinion, it helps to start with the necessary things and finish up the list with the things that are our wants. For example, necessary expenses would be things like your rent or your mortgage, gas, utilities, grocery bills, insurance, things of that nature. The second half of the list are our wants. That may include things like a gym membership or a subscription to Hulu or Netflix. Once you have all of your expenses listed, go ahead and add that number up. That is your total cost of living for each month. You'll want to subtract that number from our monthly income that we did just a few seconds ago. Once you have that number, you'll find yourself in one of three categories. Maybe you're surprised to find that you actually have money in your favor every month. There's something extra. If that's the case, be sure that you give that money a name, meaning assign that money to serve a purpose. Maybe you can save it for an emergency fund or your kid's college education. Maybe you're saving up for a new car. You can also be sure that you allow yourself to have some fun money every month. It's important to make smart money choices, but it's also important to give yourself a little bit of grace to enjoy that money that you work so hard for each month. Maybe you'll find that you're pretty close to breaking even. Not having a lot of money at the end of the month is not such a bad thing when you have all of your bills paid. But maybe you want to revisit that expenses list and cut out some of the non-necessary things, just for a time. Having some extra money can give you just a little bit of breathing room each month. Sometimes when we subtract our expenses from our income, we end up with a negative number. But don't panic. This is simply a time to cut out some of our extras, just for a time. Can you cut your cable bill? Can you get a smaller package? Can you cancel some of your subscriptions to a big box store? Can you do some menu planning and help yourself to reduce your grocery bill? I know that these are not fun choices, but financial stress is not fun either. Once you have the first two steps completed, the third step is to follow your budget. I can write as many little formulas in my budget notebook as I want to, but if I'm not following that plan every month, it's not going to help me. We need to think about budgeting as we would if we were trying to build muscle. If I wanted to have big muscles in my arms, I couldn't expect to see any results after one workout. It's going to take me several months to notice a difference. It's the same thing with budgeting. Sometimes the first few months are really rough, but if we can be determined and stick it through, we will start to see results. Now it's time for me to get a little personal. The reason why budgeting is so important to me is because it really has changed my life. That may seem a little overdramatic, but let me explain. Some of you may not know that I'm a single mom of 2 boys. As a single parent, money is always front and center in my mind. Things were really rough when I started my journey as a single mom. I remember at one point there was an apple tree in the back of our apartment building, and I used to go out at the end of the day and pick the apples so that we could eat the next day. One time I remember sitting in a grocery store parking lot with $7 in my pocket. I sat there for about 20 minutes as I tried to decide what was the most amount of food I could buy with these $7. The reason why I am where I am today is because I learned how to manage the money that was coming in. At the beginning, there wasn't a whole lot to manage, but budgeting is a tool that has helped me to learn to stretch every dollar and make every penny count. Sometimes when we hear people talk about a specific topic, it's easy for us to think, oh, they don't understand. They have no idea what I'm going through. Well, I do. I do a little all too well. I also know the difference that a budget has made for me. It's not because now I make a lot of money. I just know how to manage the money that's coming in a little bit better. So let's review. The first step of any budget is to get the number of your monthly income. The second step is to figure out your expenses. And the third step is to follow it. Be determined to see it through so that you can see a difference in your family's finances. I wish right now I could reach through this screen and give you a big hug. The game of life has gotten a lot tougher for many of us throughout these weeks. But you, my friend, are tough enough. This is your daily reminder to do your highs, your hurts, and your hugs. Tonight, when you tuck your little one into bed, ask them what the best part of their day was. Ask the follow-up question what the most difficult part of their day was, and use that moment to give them a hug and to remind them that no matter what, you are there to help. I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.